What is humor anyway? It's difficult, really. It can be slapstick, it can be very sophisticated, or it can be satire. Maybe it's visual, like slipping on a banana peel, or it can be oral, like a good joke. Whatever it is, it's really difficult to be able to define it. Humor isn't something that just happens. It depends an awful lot on surprise and timing. I do know that it's one of the most difficult things to pull off well. The masters of humor like Mel Brooks or Charlie Chaplin or Monty Python, they did it the right way, and they did it in such a way that it became signature styles. For instance, the classic Monty Python line is just a harmless bunny. That's not all that funny until body parts start flying out of the cave, and that's funny. To bastardize an old saying about art, I don't know what it is, but I really know when I see it. My films reflect the fact that I see humor almost everywhere I look, even underwater. Treating fish and critters with lines to speak and things to do that are rude or inappropriate isn't always that easy, but maybe it can be done. My film, Anilao Follies, is unvarnished slapstick. I don't apologize for it. I think I've only authored one joke in my entire lifetime, and it goes a little bit like this. If someone gets hit with a lute, is that menstrual pain?
I say, chap, can you keep it down a bit?
It's hurting my ears. C'est merveilleux. J'aime le chaos et les choses bruyantes.
Du wirst jetzt damit aufhören.
Turn it down.
Okay, I think it's funny, but what makes it funny? Sure, it's inappropriate and it's slightly dirty, but what makes it funny? I really don't know. My film starts with this scene. I was trying to narrate it, but I just couldn't get that carnival barker thing. I really wanted it, and it wasn't happening. One day, I was online, and I saw a film by Ned Shimizu, a friend of mine. Well, it caught my attention because not only had he done it in English, but he had done it in his native Japanese as well. And it was done by a woman and a man, and neither of the voices were his, so that caught my attention. I got in touch with him and asked him how he had done this, and he said that he was using a video editing program called Clipchamp that not only does editing, but it allows you to do text to voice, which is an interesting thought. And I said, well, maybe I need to look at it. And I downloaded it. It's a free version, and sure enough, it could do what I needed. First, the language and the accent are selected from this list. Next, I select a male or a female voice from this list of options. After I type in my text, the pitch and speed are chosen. This is then saved and exported so it can be used. I chose Australian English and William, but I could have selected any number of different voices.
And now, the greatest show underwater. Elsewhere in the sand and the muck, there are many other strange and wonderful creatures to capture our attention.
Other effects involve changing pitch and speed to my narration to give the comedy effect that I'm looking for. There is something about this clip that really appeals to me. It has humor just really built into it.
This is so annoying. He knocks junk down into our hole, and I'm expected to clean it up, while he sits up top, yawning.
I subscribed to Epidemic Sound and downloaded this yawn sound from their sound effects library. It's okay, but it's too short, so I slowed it down by 50% to get this, which was much, much better. The rest was just moving it around to match the goby's mouth movements until it worked. The narration was equally interesting because it is where the punchline exists. The little blind shrimp is working his butt off trying to keep the hole clean, and he's getting no appreciation. Here, my recorded voice is terrible. It's not very funny, and it's boring. This is so annoying. He knocks junk down into our hole, and I'm expected to clean it up while he sits up top, yawning. But speed it up to 140%, you get a whole different result, and it is funny, and it works.
This is so annoying. He knocks junk down into our hole, and I'm expected to clean it up while he sits up top, yawning.
One other thing that I had to do was I had to change the clip speed because it was way too long, so I changed it to 156%. This was an exercise in making 2 burps sound like 4. The key here was to change the pitch, the volume, and the speed of the sound clip. This was another favorite. I sped up my voice to chipmunk speed, snapped a pencil to get the sound effect, and pieced the snaps to the little lobster's attack.
Hey, you need to back off.
I'll sometimes superimpose a vignette over where the action is taking place. It can work well with narration and sound effects.
That was tasty.
It's about time to run this show into a wall and give everyone a well-deserved break. Thanks for watching. I hope you had a good time. Ciao!